Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Naruto Gaiden chapter review. This one's going to be for Chapter 4, aka Chapter 700 plus 4, Chance Meeting 2. And yes, getting straight into it, this was a really good chapter. While I liked last week's chapter, it was a little bit too kind of based around one scene that maybe wasn't the best thing to base it around. Not a massive amount happened. It was still good, but this chapter, even though again you kind of say okay, it's based around one specific moment, it advanced the plot a bit more. You had your kind of cliffhanger, big moments. But I think the most important thing was that it had these kind of really nice character moments, and for the first time in this series, the standout character was not Sarada, instead it was Naruto. Our main character from the original series finally gets like a really big important chapter in the kind of time skip story, and this is something I felt was really needed because as cool as it was to see Naruto with his awesome kind of jacket cape thing with that says Seventh Hokage on the back, and the few little scenes we've seen him in, actually seeing him like as a main character in this chapter, talking to these characters, basically acting like one of the older characters in the series that we're focusing on right now, was so interesting. And I think that's what made me love this chapter so much. Seeing him address Sarada and Chocho kind of like, say, a Kakashi or someone would address the kind of Naruto back in the original series. Just this kind of whole generational thing, and that now Naruto's an adult and he's going to have to help the the younger generation this time around. So that was cool. And obviously we start off the chapter straight away with Shin Uchiha versus Naruto in their fight. And Shin straight away goes Sharingan and then straight to Mangekyo Sharingan, which is a surprise that he has it already. His Mangekyo Sharingan pattern seemed to just be this kind of just black circle with a kind of triangular kind of point on the top, and then one on the sides, the kind of triangle pattern. So that was interesting. Again, a color page would have made this design come across a little bit better, and especially with what happens with Sarada later on in the chapter. Again, a little bit of color here and there would have really helped to just get across the magnitude of the moment. But straight away, I liked how the fight wasn't really a fight. It was just like, okay, this guy is going to be our main villain primarily, but he's got no chance against Naruto. The second Naruto goes into like Nine Tails Sage mode, which seemed to have been for the first time in a while, because Kurama basically says, "Oh, that time we're getting back into action," and that was really fun. It was just seeing the other characters react like kids to seeing this godlike power basically for the first time in front of them was it pretty amazing, just to see again how far he's come. We've always with Naruto had those moments where like the other characters look on like, what did this kid just do? But now, like seeing a much older Naruto, he still has that kind of our seventh Hokage is pretty awesome kind of moment. So it was just so cool. Like nearly every scene Naruto was in the chapter just had me kind of like smiling. And cool hasn't, I suppose, always been the word you'd use to describe Naruto. Even though he has all these like awesome moments, learning all these techniques and stuff like that, he didn't have the same sort of kind of attitude, swagger about him that say Sasuke had. But in this chapter, now that he's older, now that he is the Hokage, that seems to come across a bit more, that he is the awesome character in the series. And just seeing he turns on this mode, just blocks the attack, and then straight away the little, I suppose it's meant to be a kind of mini Ten Tails like thing with the kind of Sharingan eye thing, comes and says, "Oh, sorry, he's like the one guy you probably shouldn't take on. So you should probably retreat right now." And then it's revealed that the little thing slash Sheen, they have the teleportation technique. I suppose technically it's, is it Kamui, or is that just the Kakashi version? Or I don't know, I can't remember the exact names, but either way, they have basically Obito's technique as well as some other ones. So they're just setting up this mystery that there's some weird Sharingan power thing going on with our villains this time around. And so they retreat, and Sarada and Chocho are safe. And from there, primarily what we get is just, okay, Sarada gives him the lunchbox that was set up from the last chapter. And this happening reminds Naruto of one of the most important moments between him and Sasuke and like Team 7, that basically the formation of that team as a team, passing the test and becoming basically, you know, Kakashi was going to train them, was basically Sasuke being the one to decide, we should give Naruto some of our food. And he gives him the kind of lunch tray. And now in the next generation, we're seeing Sasuke's kid deliver a lunchbox to Naruto. And it's just this really nice kind of generational moment, just like, I see what you're doing, which was it was really nice to see. And then as they're eating the lunch, we get into the thing like, okay, it's better off that you two stick around with me. You're safer with me than anywhere else. And hey, we might run into your dad on the way. And she's just like, what? Seriously? And then Chocho reveals that she's also never met Sasuke either. So setting it up, that's not just he just for some reason stayed away from his daughter. No, basically most of the younger generation have never seen Sasuke before. And it was really interesting to see that Naruto didn't just immediately off the top of his head realize the full extent of kind of how little Sasuke's been around. I suppose to some extent his friendship with Sasuke is kind of defined by him being away for so long, but he's kind of come to accept that, and so he kind of maybe doesn't understand that his daughter's never met him before, and he's like, oh, whoa, you actually probably don't know her. So he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you some stories, and you get basically what in like the previous few chapters, what none of the other characters were actually willing to tell her, which is basically anything about her father. And Naruto just is completely open basically with her. Though there was one moment where he seemed to have some idea about why Shin Uchiha wants to capture her, and he kind of holds his mouth. But either way, what we get here is just a really nice moment where he just talks about his past. You know, like Sasuke was a real hit with the girls, really good at ninjutsu, and he's adding in like just like me, except no, he was awful socially and had a really bad attitude. And then it's this kind of moment where she's like really. Just reading it like just first time, I was just like, oh, she's kind of a little bit like embarrassed that her dad's being insulted here. But I think it was more about just like, oh, I'm making a joke about how bad Sasuke is, like, kind of socially and attitude, when Sarada here has never met him before, and it's just like, oh, this is a thing with Sasuke that he's like that. So, I think that's why he kind of quickly changed his tune. But then it's just this really cool moment where he just reveals that you look back there when I saw you. You look exactly like Sasuke, especially the eyes. And then you act just like Sakura, especially when you're angry. And it was just this really cool moment that I suppose is basically our confirmation without the plot directly confirming it. That, look, you are Sakura and Sasuke's kid. And Naruto making this comparison confirms it to all extents and purposes. And for all intents and purposes. Yeah, so that was a really kind of a nice moment to see, just him making this comparison and then like saying, look, okay, he didn't wear glasses, but other than that, you look exactly like him. So just kind of taking away the whole Karin thing as well. But maybe she'll still be involved at some point. They'll reference what that was about. But just after that, you just see Sarada reflecting on basically being around Naruto for so long, and you know he's patting her on the head. She basically she feels at ease around him, and you get the idea that she's kind of thinking, is this what it feels like to kind of have a father, like to meet your father and stuff like that? That she really likes Naruto, and just again, like Naruto, he is a pretty good parent, and just again highlighting that the main theme of this series is definitely more like, while the main theme of like Naruto the series was kind of like characters who had kind of lost their parents. In Sasuke and Naruto, they both really didn't have their parents. This one's more about families, but the kind of issues created by having your family. So Boruto about his father being in such an important position. A similar situation for Sarada, except he's away for a long time and she's never met him before. And then they kind of jokingly make the thing with Chocho, but still. Yeah, I suppose brief thoughts on Chocho. Again, I like that they're including kind of the character you maybe didn't expect to be part of like the team for this series, but she's definitely the least kind of interesting character in the book right now. She's just kind of there to be the one who's kind of like, I think I have problems, but I don't really compared to everyone else around me. And then after that, they're just like, okay, they're going towards the tower where they're going to meet Sasuke, and then they stop because everyone gets tired, but Sarada goes anyway on her own. And along the way, she gets really emotional. She's finally going to meet her father, and so emotional, in fact, that she awakens her Sharingan. And obviously, you see her eyes with the single, I think it's called a Tomoi, Tomoi. So she gets the first of the little swirls on the kind of outer ring of her eye, which obviously eventually will become 2, and then 3, and then Mangekyo Sharingan if that happens. So that's interesting. She has the Sharingan. That, like, just thinking she's about to meet her father is what awakens it. And then when she gets there, she meets him. She says, "Dad." Well, he draws a sword on her and basically acts like she is an ally of Shin Uchiha, which I really don't think this is meant to be as dramatic as I suppose we think it is. I think it's definitely just this kind of misunderstanding type thing. I suppose if you're not paying too much attention, it's meant to be like Sasuke doesn't care that this is his daughter. It's like, well, what's he doing? But when in reality, I think it's more of like he is the one who found the information about this new person out here, Shin Uchiha, with a Sharingan. And then this girl, who he probably isn't aware just straight away that this is his daughter. Because again, I think they're probably going to reply that he hasn't seen her that much either since she was a baby basically. So he wouldn't really know what she looks like. And so just seeing this new person come in with a Sharingan, he just adds like 2 and 2 together and gets this is also an ally of this other guy I met, and not jump to straight away, oh, my daughter has awakened her Sharingan and here she is. So I'm thinking that what's probably going to happen next chapter is that Naruto arrives basically like the first couple of pages, because I can't see it being like a way that they could effectively explain how he didn't know that she left. Like, he's the guy with sage mode, and admittedly he has to activate that, but I'm sure he was aware that she probably went to go out. So I assume Naruto will step in there, stop that, and we'll probably get the moment where the two of them actually have their kind of reunion. And where they go from there with it, I'm not really sure. Maybe Sasuke won't make a very good first impression on Sarada, and she'll be like, they might go down some sort of road like, I wish you were more like Naruto. Like, Naruto acts like the kind of father that she wants, whereas Sasuke is such a kind of a specific type of character that being a good father doesn't really seem to play into that with him. So she may be disappointed actually meeting him for the first time here. But overall, like, I'm really excited to see what happens next week in chapter 5. I think this could be really interesting. There's always the potential that maybe it's some sort of a trap and that it's not actually Sasuke, but I think they're going more down the other road where it actually is him, but he is so unfamiliar with his daughter that he doesn't know that this is who it is. And Naruto is going to have to come in and be like, hey, what are you doing? This is your daughter. And stuff goes from there. But overall, I really did like this chapter. I thought it was a huge improvement on the previous one, and is it the best of the series so far? Maybe. We got some really cool Naruto moments again. As I said, he was kind of the star of this issue, at least in the middle, kind of like the start to middle, first 2/3 of the chapter. He was the star, and then Sarada had her kind of big moment towards the end. So they're keeping our main character of this series, Sarada, strong, and then our overall main character of the entire kind of universe was really cool in this chapter, and we got to see his more adult personality more in the chapter. So I really appreciated that. But that's been the review. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on this chapter. I loved it, and I really want to see what you guys think of it. But that's been the review. Thanks for watching, and bye.